My Digital Escape, the audiobook chapters. Trask's plot. Spoiler alert. Trask's plot consists of 3 subchapters, which is Battle of the Beetle, Jeffrey Silver Strikers, and the Symbiote Carnage chapter, where Trask, meets his fate. So let's start with the first of the 3, A Battle of the Beetle. After Shaq escaped the airship, he went on his own quest to search out Jeffrey for vengeance for having him arrested 2 times, as well as his idol, Lil Durk, getting arrested and probably executed in jail. Meanwhile at S.H.I.E.L.D., a soldier is shot down by a red blast by a person in a red beetle suit. The Beetle takes out a few more of the soldiers before acquiring a sample of sand. Meanwhile, Jeffrey sees the Beetle pass by him. Jeffrey is confused on the matter and takes this opportunity to examine Beetle and discover his intentions. Jeffrey: that is something you don't see every day. Almost every day. Not every day. He takes pursuit and catches up. However, the Beetle goes faster than Jeffrey does and eventually sees a sample area for DNA for a project. Jeffrey arrives after Beetle. The Beetle: you are very irritating. Jeffrey: me? Oh, I find myself charming rather than irritating. Jeffrey and Beetle begin to fight for a while, until Beetle escapes. Jeffrey: where'd he go? Well, that's just great. You can't beat the crap out of a guy and he gets away. Jeffrey looks around and sees 2 civilians being Parlay and her lover, Avi. Jeffrey: hey, have you 2 seen a weird beetle guy in a red armor suit? Both of them don't know what Jeffrey meant by that. Parlay: nope, sorry, we haven't seen Beetle, but we did see him pass by the embassy. Jeffrey looks at the embassy. Oh, great, Jeffrey said in, disgraced feeling. Jeffrey decides to go investigate, only to witness Spider-Man fighting Osborn in the Latvian embassy. Spider-Man beats up Osborn, aka Green Goblin, and Scarlet shows up with more S.H.I.E.L.D. soldiers. After Spider-Man leaves, Scarlet and Jeffrey talk for a bit. Jeffrey: so this is Osborn, the Green Goblin with a fiery temper? Scarlet: yep, Spider-Man just took him down. Jeffrey: fair enough. I was searching for a foe that I was fighting. Scarlet: what was his name? Jeffrey: I don't know, but he wore a red suit that resembled the Beetle. Scarlet: well, Kill, you got lucky, as that was dangerously close to causing a massive ship to explode. Jeffrey: fair point, Miss Scarlet. I gotta get going. Jeffrey runs back home. Meanwhile, Shaq is in his Venom form, looking around, and then the Beetle confronts him. The Beetle then sees Shaq is wearing the suit. Beetle: I require a sample. The Venom, Shaq, and Beetle begin to fight, but Shaq gets the upper hand and knocks Beetle out. After he escapes, Beetle regains consciousness and was able to get a sample of the suit, meaning Beetle could report back to Trask as they got the sample. Next chapter of this 3-chapter part of Trask's plot: Jeffrey Silver Strikers. Later the next day at 3:30 p.m., Jeffrey is walking home until Silver Sable and Fluttario see him. Silver Sable: Jeffrey Sambursky? Jeffrey: what the heck? What's going on? Fluttario then uses a tranquilizer and manages to tranquilize him. Jeffrey passes out due to the tranquilizer. The next thing he realizes is that he's in the car with Sable and the blue alicorn as well. Jeffrey: ugh, what happened? Ugh, my head. Silver Sable: there's enough tranquilizer in your system to take down either a large horse or a medium-sized elephant. Don't fight it. Jeffrey sees something happening on the bridge and kicks open the car door. Sable: me and this blue alicorn here both know who you are, Jeffrey. We both can go at you or anyone else you know, like your housemates or your family, your girlfriend. Jeffrey: leave my family alone. Fluttario and Silver Sable in unison: get back in the car. Soon Jeffrey's facing off both the females, who both take turns battling Jeffrey. However, things escalate into a problem, as a passing car almost hits the blue alicorn Fluttario, which causes Jeffrey to run and push her to safety. The car hits the edge of the bridge. Now Jeffrey has to save the people in the car. Jeffrey: Damn, this car is heavy. Flutterio and Silver Sable. Don't worry, we will help you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, wait a second. Both of you were fighting me, and now you're helping me? Flutterio, we were told to bring you to our destination, not to harm innocent bystanders. Jeffrey, aw, you two ladies are crazy with a heart of gold. Soon everyone is safe. Jeffrey talks both of the females. However, Venom Shack jumps out of nowhere and punches Silver Sable and Flutterio out cold and grabs both females and runs off. Jeffrey decides to chase after Shack. Soon a chase is happening, how you like to call it, and now Jeffrey has to save both females. Jeffrey, crazy blue alicorn and silver-haired lady. I should let Shack take them both out. Oh, but I would feel guilty about letting it happen. And if I was to look like an absolute joke or a laughingstock, then that would belong on either national TV or on the internet. Jeffrey chases Shack, but the darts have made Jeffrey dizzy. Jeffrey, ugh, whatever were in those darts have made my mind all shimmy. Eventually, things get to a standstill, and Shack puts both of them down to fight Jeffrey. It's a fair fight, except for the sharp pain in Jeffrey's head. However, Jeffrey lands a dropkick that knocks Shack out cold and turns him back into his normal state. Jeffrey, are we done, Shack? Great. I don't know how long I could stay conscious. Jeffrey collapses and passes out from the tranquilizers, while Flutterio and Silver Sable get back up, and both realize that Jeffrey and Shack are now unconscious. The final chapter of the Boulevard Trask saga, Symbiote Carnage. Shack is sleeping in his force field cell. Meanwhile, Jeffrey finds himself strapped to an examination table. He sees Toombs and Amity, who have worked for Trask, as Amity's blood goop sample was the type of symbiote that Jeffrey wore once in the current that Shack is wearing. Jeffrey, what the? Where am I? Amity, glad to see that you're awake, Jeffrey. Adrian Toombs, agreed. The suit particles in your blood want to merge with the particles that are from the suit. Let's see if it works on you, Jeffrey. Amity pulls out a needle with her blood goop symbiote sample in it and injects it into Jeffrey's arm. Amity, in case this does or doesn't kill you, me and Toombs want to say that your father is a genius for having you play that game of EVE/EDE/Sage. Pure genius that you would win that wish for every player would fight for on their time to get to Haven, Jeffrey. However, Jeffrey begins to twitch violently and screams in agony and begins to transform into a Carnage symbiote. Carnage Jeffrey punches Toombs and Amity, presumably killing them both, and runs out. Meanwhile, Shack wakes up as he heard Jeffrey scream. Shack, what was that? He sees the power go out. Shack, what's happening? He runs to the doors only to see Carnage Jeffrey walk through. Shack realized Jeffrey shaped through the suit of the Carnage. Shack, oh my god. I know, it's you! Jeffrey! Carnage Jeffrey roars, and then another fight happens, a symbiote fight between Jeffrey and Shack in their symbiote forms. However, the battle ends up being a draw, as Shack, eventually in his Venom form, absorbs the Carnage symbiote, but spares Jeffrey. Shack, ah, yes, I've absolutely total control of the suit now. Now, I have a score to settle. Tell me, Jeffrey, which way do you figure Trask's office is? Trask is trying to grab some documents, only for Jeffrey to kick Trask's hand. Jeffrey, my inheritance. Tell me about it now. Trask, all you want to know about your inheritance, Jeffrey, is in here. I was hanging on to it until you would find out. Just then, Venom Shack busts through, but Jeffrey keeps him at bay, but this causes Trask to flee. The three run to the top of Trask Industries, the roof. Jeffrey sees Silver Sable and Flutterio again. Jeffrey, you two again? Silver Sable, down boy. Our contract with Trask expired 10 minutes ago. Besides, he doesn't know how to fly a helicopter. Jeffrey in confusion. But I thought you both... Flutterio, no hard feelings, Jeffrey. Business is business, eh? Jeffrey watches as both female characters leave. Then, he turns back to see his roommate about to attack Boulevard Trask. Venom Shack. Trask! Jeffrey. I swear, man, I will bust those teeth out of your head if you don't knock it off. Another fight between Jeffrey and Shaq takes place. It's raining at nighttime, too. However, in the end, Jeffrey gets the upper hand and does the Spider-Man fighting combo that was able to knock his opponent out. Soon the fighting was over, and Trask was arrested. Jeffrey reads about his inheritance and realizes that he was meant to be rich. And now that he realizes everything was true. Nick Fury and Lunar Archer. You did good, Jeffrey. Jeffrey shows them the documents. Jeffrey, in a serious tone. Shaquille needs to see this. It's about the truth of the inheritance that I earned. Archer. Shaq isn't here. Don't worry. We will catch him. Meanwhile, in the jail on the Hudson River. Trask. Shaquille, I can't believe you were here. Shaquille. You know what I can't believe? Out of all the things you did and made me do, and all you get is 3 years in the golf course prison. And the guards won't help you as they aren't armed enough. Trask watches in horror as Shaquille kills Trask while wearing the Venom suit. Meanwhile, Jeffrey is at home with his friends and girlfriend. Julia, are you feeling okay, talking about it, Jeffrey? Jeffrey. I don't know where to begin. Delaney, a.k.a. Diamond Grace. We all love you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I know, but... Julia, but what? Jeffrey, it's my housemate. I don't know if I should be either scared of him or for him because of the suit. Julia, but he's not here. Delaney, we're here for you. Jeffrey, I know. Jeffrey puts his arms around the two ladies, and all three of them watch the sunset. Author's note, the next chapter is coming soon. Hey gang, it's me, Jeffrey Sandberg. I just want to leave this as a little post-voice analysis on this, Trask saga. I had to do the audiobook reading of these 3 mini chapters before I get to the next, visualization of these chapters. That way I could complete season 5 and get to season 6. But before I do season 6, I'm going to have to write down the audiobook chapters for that. So that way it helps me memorize everything that'll work for season 6. Just to, help out with the memories and stuff. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to stay tuned for the visualizations of the second half of the Boulevard Trask saga, because Boulevard Trask is the villain of season 5.